will be remaining on the ban list as is appropriate, I believe, and it makes it more exciting.
Card's looking good.
Yeah, so our top lane matchup that we're looking forward to won't be kind of ruined there by having Skarner in it.
And one thing I'm noting is 100 Thieves definitely have different draft prep to Cloud9 because in the series, Cloud9 was banning bot laners all 3 for the first rotation. They were heavily prioritizing Zven. 100 Thieves leaving a couple more options open for him. Maybe they're not as concerned. I don't know what the scrims are looking like behind the scenes, but either way, they're prioritizing the Senna comp.
And Senna makes so much sense for 100 Thieves specifically. They're a team that plays so heavily through their solo lanes, so having Senna as a safe, strong laning, but more supportive type of carry makes perfect sense for them. It's one of the reasons they prioritize it.
And this even actually started for me back at MSI, watching a lot of the teams incorporating Senna and building team comps around this champion. The most successful ones to me that are the ones that paired Senna with other super long range damage. You know, we saw like the Senna Karthus early today and how much damage and pressure that can put on enemy carries that don't have shields or sustain for them. If you get hit by a Senna ultimate and an Ornn ultimate and a Karthus ultimate, you're out of the game already from multiple screens away. So we'll see as 100 Thieves are playing around with it. River has been one of the more fun ones, but there it is. Exactly as mentioned, we're going to get it again, the Senna and the Karthus, this long range artillery composition here.
I think that maybe 100 Thieves had a series of scrims against Cloud9 this week, especially if they ended up locking in the Yone right here. Senna, Karthus, Yone, exactly what C9 had in game 1.
I've got a Yone stat for you because LCK and, you know, obviously everybody wants to be, you know, like Gen G and wants to be, you know, one of the best teams in the world there with Chovy piloting the Yone.
Yeah.
But Yone has lost every single other game.
Oh no!
I bet him so.
Wow, Cloud9 is so good.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, Cloud9.
Wow.
Cloud9's able to make it work, you know?
JoJo's won 100 LCS.
JoJo's like, Zyra for Spica.
I'm like Chovy, so yeah.
This is a big deal because this is what 100 Thieves were playing last week that everyone was so excited about. Their draft was so unique, the Ezreal mid, the Zyra jungle, and yes, the combo, we just saw this work for Cloud9, but you're into a Zyra, which also is able to just turbo clear through the jungle really fast.
I believe Spica mentioned on Pros last week that he has a 40% solo Q win rate on jungle Zyra, but that's because that's the curve of learning, right? He started low, but he's clearly
started below
enough.
40%.
He started 0.
Yeah,
really.
If you lose the first game, that's how it works.
Yeah, if you lost the first one, and it's been all uphill from there, baby.
Absolutely.
So we'll see about Spica's mastery curve with Zyra here, but this is the speed clear jungle, so this is going to be a fun one. We've been talking a lot about matching these turbo farming AP jungles against each other.
Also, I gotta say, yes, the Senna Karthus have that range. Yone has the combo with it, but Yone kind of scary to go into that Zyra range because if you're getting slowed by the Rylai's, all the plants just doing all that damage to you. Yes, the other two will help with that, but 100 Thieves, now their mid laner, specifically Quid, is going to be, you know, thinking this is a bit of a headache of a champion to deal with. You also got Leona locking you down in there too. So I like the pick overall, but I do wonder how it interacts with the Karthus in particular.
For sure, and we're going to dive in deep to the jungle matchups right at the start of the game because there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. The last set of bans, though, with the Ornn and the Tahm Kench and Nautilus already being banned, those are all the most popular pairs with Senna, so 100 Thieves is going to have to go in a bit of a different direction. And then 100 Thieves with the 2 top lane bans are probably hoping to prevent Licorice from having a good, like, blind pick option, but he ends up going with the Ksante. And now, actually, as the blue side team, Sniper gets the counter pick.
This is following the trend from last summer. I mean, we talked about this at the top of the day. Licorice is constantly blind picking. Seems like the specialty for him as a player. And now the answer from Sniper is that Camille. Although I guess technically we could maybe see that Camille going to the bot lane. Less expected though, probably in the top. We'll see.
Oh, it's for sure match up into Ksante. Oh, never mind. No.
Well, no, it
could be either one.
It could be, but surely it's Senna Sion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one where you put the root onto the minion and then you Sion shout the minion that has the root onto them. We've all been there.
G2 pulled it off like 2 years ago.
That's one of those super fun bot lane duos to play where you get to actually make use of the creative, like theoretical synergies between the champs and Sion's ability to move those minions.
And we could also be getting some sneaky lane swapping now that Sion's in the game as well, though. If they really wanted to do something strange in this game with the Karthus being able to fast clear and push people out of the jungle. This was a great draft. The most exciting thing to me about it is just the fact that we have not seemed to shift towards the Sejuani Maokai every game, and we actually have 2 teams that are willing to play the high damage, fast clearing AP junglers.
I'm super excited for this one. I mean, adding the Camille onto this, you have so much. We already mentioned like the artillery aspect of the early picks of Senna and Karthus, but 100 Thieves have amazing split push here in Camille and in Yone, these melee solo laners that can dive right into the middle of it. Such a flexible look here. I really like how NLSS is kind of setting it up too, as 100 Thieves have been one of the really creative global Senna ultimate. You can enable your split pushers, Quid and Sniper, who are two of the most mechanically gifted players in the whole league, to do 2v1 outplays. And you don't even have to go over to them because you can just press your R button and help them out. If you do get to that Fed split push, you know, kind of dream scenario there for 100 Thieves later on. But let's see how the early game goes, because this is going to be a fun one with our Zyra matching up against the Karthus. Really going to put the speed clear to the test.
Game 1 in, and okay, I'm seeing something about me on there. Okay, sweet.
Chad.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate the support. But, Jad, this is your moment, because you said you wanted to talk about the jungle matchup early on in the game. Now's your window.
Thank you.
It looks like Kangus's moment, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Kangus, Poggers, this is going to keep going.
No, right at the end. You cursed me.
If they don't actually disrupt the early jungle clears, I was tracking River last game, and he did a full clear 2-minute 58-second Zyra, but he also knows that Zyra wants to stand around the jungle camp for the plants to spawn for faster first clear, which is why this delayed invade will actually slow down Spica as well as push him back.
Yeah, exactly. You want to disrupt seeds. It's not really as intuitive as like Shaco, and everyone thinks, oh yeah, we always got to invade Shaco and pop the boxes.
Yeah.
But you really want to pop those seeds, or at the very least get suboptimal seeds, and we're seeing it again, this Senna here.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Berserker was pretty annoying there, you know, with the early Senna going through mid, and they're just going to pass on up to that lane swap on the top side. I mean, such good use of the Sion early on to go for the invade.
And Meech is also being a terror right now. If you have such strong mid-prio, it would open up the window for River to try and invade later in the clear. But Spica's slowed down that Raptor a little bit. Delays him, but I don't think it's going to matter.
40% win rate, Silicky, you said?
I think that. I think that's what Spica said.
Okay.
And I hope I didn't just make a lie.
just checking. Regardless, we are going to get what I was talking about, where Meech does go all the way up to the top lane.
Yeah.
Because as Senna, you can lane with anyone. Melee and whichever melee it is doesn't really matter here. So he comes up to Sniper on the big, slow pushing wave to crash on Licorice here.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about this is the first time we're going to see Sniper versus Licorice. Well, Sniper's got some backup. Also, Meech, who has yet to play in the league at the same time that Licorice has, as he's looking to get out of Zven's lane early on here.
Yeah, Licorice had such a strong reputation that Sniper was like, all right, I'm going to have to bring some backup for this. It's funny that Meech is actually visiting all of their solo laners this early on, because you expect Senna to help out split pushers later in the game with the R button, but he's actually winning lane for, or the top lane was already winning, but he won mid lane, helped out Quid a lot here with the, you know, passing through mid, and then also helping out on top side here with the crash, forcing Isles to come and match with Licorice, but it's still so much more annoying because the Leona is not going to be able to provide as much support here as the range harassment that Meech is providing.
I agree, and 100 Thieves, what they've done in this game is they've just created such a unique situation. Because I imagine in a lot of the jungle games that Spica has played, even if he gets invaded, it's not like when he goes top lane, there's two people there. The Sion is a big part of this as well, if he doesn't get punished, because Spica's moved around the back.
Yeah, nice flash from Eyla. Gets out of danger, but that was a good angle from Spica to look for that. Knows that there's no counter jungling to be had, so get a free summoner. Now top lane, though, River is coming around as well. Isles and Licorice are going to try and survive under this turret. I don't imagine they go for a dive. I feel like that would be really risky.
Yeah, but even just the extra damage and harassment as two tanks under tower at topside. You're like, you know, Isles is here. He's here for like support for you, but it's like it's not helping as much as all of the extra range damage that 100 Thieves are applying up there, and really trying to pressure him at the CS under tower. And you can see the CS gap growing on the top side. Our dream of a split push Camille with having double globals on her team to help her out is very much alive and well.
But I want to ask you the question, do we favor it? Because the same lead is their bot side. Zven is now getting basically a free laning phase as a Smolder, able to stack up there, and his equivalent CS lead basically to Sniper over Licorice right now, as there is actually a dive going here. No, they got a full wave. Who's going to tank turret first? Sniper takes the first one. and then they call it off. Meech in a compromised position at this point. Spica's walking forward, gonna have to flash, and now just damage back onto Licorice, who gets under the turret. A little interesting maneuver there from 100 Thieves. Feel like they wanted the dive, but weren't sure how to pull it off.
Yeah, trying to get a little bit of damage in there, but also still looking at tower plates as like the guaranteed, much easier. Ksante is able to go unstoppable there, get right back under tower, even as Spica was kind of hovering over. But yeah, I mean, the game plan is cruising along, except for Eyla has no flash.
No flash, yeah. I think this is going to be a dead Sion on your screen, everybody. Zven, one more auto, not quite, ignite, and the auto goes to Zven. First blood picked up by Smolder.
And that's actually a big consequence of what 100 Thieves has done here. I'd say mainly a misplay by Eyla, but when you're up against a Smolder, giving him the free lane, that was the consequence of all the annoyance that Meech was doing up in top lane or even around mid lane. So you really don't want to also give him gold because he's going to be a little accelerated on stacks. He had no one really stopping him from either just pressing buttons on Sion for stacks or last hitting for free. He's already up at 40 now, so he's AoE last hitting as well. The BF sword being completed and hitting level 6. Zven's off to the races.
Zven is indeed. Let's see if he can keep it up here. Good stacks, good money. Meech in the mid lane here.
Wave.
Yeah, going to be able to keep it no problem. Quid teleports back. Quid will be able to collect all of the extra minions.
Might stop the back here as well. That's really nice because now you can get another wave shoved in. Jensen doesn't have teleport. We're onto the grubs. Licorice is hovering around, but just does not have the numbers advantage. Needs to be careful here. It looks like these belong to 100 Thieves.
Absolutely. I'd say Rivers currently the one with the upper hand in the AP jungle war. Yeah. He not only did the early invade, but he kept the tempo throughout the rest of the early game. He got basically a 7 camp early clear, as well as the harass. Hits level 6 first, also takes grubs, so he's got a good start to Karthus here.
And you compare that to how River looked on the Zyra last weekend. We were so impressed with how fast the Zyra was able to clear and get all the objectives. It was like the dragons, it was the grubs, it was all the scuttles, and it does not seem like Spica is able to match that.
All right. At least though his buy was okay on the Zyra. Like he wasn't like poor or anything. He like a little bit behind, so he was still able to get his faded ashes and the boots for the move speed, which are the key components here to the speed clear. So now he's been able to catch up to level 6, but mid lane is still so annoying. I feel like Meech here in his travels between top and mid has actually applied so much pressure and helped a lot, even though with the first blood that you guys keep on mentioning for this problem of Zven, this problem of the Smolder that's not on screen a lot.
That'll be later. Don't worry about that.
That is later.
Let's set a timer for 20 minutes.
It also means that Dignitas, not only do they have the dragon, but they also have the gold lead here. So as much as we're hyping up the annoyance factor of the Senna and the later stages where you can have these melee solo laners split pushing and applying all this pressure, the unseen Smolder is quite deadly.
Ooh, Sniper could be in some trouble here. All out used early. Locked in place, taken down. Licorice picking up that kill. That's 2 on the board for Dignitas as action bot side as well. Then trying to get some damage in onto Eyla, who's turned attention onto Isles, the tank, and is just getting shredded by Zven. Still early game, but you are taking damage. That's Dragon's doing a lot of damage. Meech flashing away, has the cleanse still. Zven gets it! Wants the kill onto Meech and is rewarded.
And this is the weird thing about lane swaps. We ended up seeing this a lot at MSI with Senna. You get such a level mismatch between the solo laner and the roaming support. But then when you're actually taking a 2v2 like this, like a Balmy Cinder versus a BF Sword as the 2 carries, it's not even going to be close. So 100 Thieves, again, not having the right wave position, or really just Zven and Isles playing that correctly. Zven has just been masterfully playing this 1v1 bot lane to now have an Essence Reaver completed before 9 minutes.
Eyla and Meech opted for that too.
Saying stuff here from Zven. He is truly the king of the bottom lane at the moment, and you already mentioned it, but like putting a dent into the Leona while you've got the extra resistances there really serve them no purpose, and Zven is going to be free to run them down, easily able to flash for the extra kill here, and continues with the stacks, by the way.
Back to live flash away from Jensen. Quid went in there looking for some damage and a kill. Now the Karthus ultimate coming down. Requiem will be enough. Still a little too early. Just a Dark Harvest proc.
Not going to be a terrible outcome for River. Getting early Dark Harvest procs is very important for the Karthus, but it's really just Meech still moving around, but it's Dignitas who's coming ahead, even though there's been all this tomfoolery by 100 Thieves.
And let's be honest, when you say Dignitas are ahead, you mean Zven. Zven is Dignitas. He literally like is the entire team right now. Massive stuff here for Smolder. To be fair, we should also give the props to Licorice. I like spreading around because he was under a lot of the extra pressure with the Karthus annoying factor, with you know, the Senna roaming up there. And Licorice did a good job of scraping together those CS, did not drop super far behind.
Which also brings us to Licorice and Sniper, because Sniper, this is his first year in the LCS. Licorice has many years in the LCS, so comparing their overall games they've played in the career, it's not even close. Like, Licorice has way more experience than Sniper. However, there is the rust factor. So if we were to just look at 2024, it would end up being a little bit different. The 28 will stay, and 3.
Who's the rookie now?
And in the midst of the 4th.
He also
so
lost
who's got
most
more
of his hair.
experience, really?
Yeah, that's the biggest nerf right there. Dignitas onto the grubs yet again. This time they're trying to deny the 6 stack from 100 Thieves. We got the first 3. River is
Sion ult?
looking for the fight. Here comes Zven, though. Watch out for the dragon. Taking a lot of damage here already. Isles goes down. Eyla tanking up a lot. Flashes of safety. Licorice in trouble on the side. 1v1 Sniper, but now Meech can turn his attention over there. 100 Thieves, they absorbed Dignitas' attempt and just pushed them off of the grub. Sniper's going to keep going for this. Gets the kill on the Licorice. Huge play from the Thieves.
Yeah, really nice trap there from the Thieves. If they have the Sion ult coming up the river, so nice to have Eyla like section off the entire rest of the Dignitas team, allowing 100 Thieves to grab the extra couple of kills there. And Dignitas with just 1 grub, I mean, at least you already denied this full 6, but 100 Thieves here with 5, with a bunch of turret plate money. Now they start to make their real ascent.
This could be a dive. Licorice rooted up. They're not going to go for it.
Yeah,
All right.
he's so tanky, and I think we're going to get to see this one more time. This is where the level advantage that actually granted Zven the kill in the bottom lane was big, because Eyla could ult in as a big level 8 Sion. Oh, Meech.
Have to get back to that cleanse used, but it will not save Meech's life. Actually, maybe I spoke too soon. He's running away. Slowed up by Licorice, ghosting forward. 1 more Q. Sidestep. Meech. Survived long enough for Licorice to take a couple turret shots, but that teleport was not fast enough from Sniper.
Wait, if he keeps walking and doesn't go for that auto at the very end there by tower, does he get it? Does he live? Man, the juice.
No, Ksante was too fast. Ksante was ghosted.
Ghost on. It was really good jukes up until that very last moment there, though. Really nice stuff to at least make it interesting and survive for a while. Meanwhile, Dragon picked up on the other side of the map because of the investment there on top side.
Yeah, going to be 1-1. We're in for a banger first game. So hopefully it continues to be a banger series. We still wonder about Zven, 136 at just 13 minutes in terms of his Smolder stacks. He's going to be getting that execute at a really early portion. But the coordination of 100 Thieves is what we need to be watching for in the mid game, because last split, when they dominated the regular season, so much of it was from game states like this, where they weren't necessarily blowing people out, but anytime a team fight would happen, they would just explode the game.
And also they had good target selection. Speaking of, Sniper just solo kills Licorice. Welcome back to the league, baby. We missed you.
The classic Trinity Force is done. Guess what? Camille's Q is now a Cho'Gath ultimate. Chops his head off with the leg blades. Puts him in the dirt.
Sniper trying to send him back into retirement early here as he dodges out on the Zyra ult and gets another solo kill. Even lives it.
All right.
Okay.
More fighting mid lane.
Shot over the top, though, in the mid lane. Jensen almost goes down. Quid, not quite enough damage.
So Sniper was already the top lane solo kill king. He didn't get a chance to go at Licorice or Spica last split because they were both down. He gets them both within 2 minutes.
Can I introduce some point multipliers for solo kills? If you do 2v1s,
under their turret.
Yeah, if you do 2v1s, you get a 2.5 multiplier. And then under a turret, if you're diving them also, it's another multiplier.
Yeah, all the multipliers, because we've had a couple solo kills this year where it's like a failed dive and 2 people died. That was literally last game with that.
You get a negative multiplier.
On the stat sheets, it's going to be 2 solo kills, but a solo kill isn't a solo kill. And the explanation is right in front of us.
Let's get another look at that. So Licorice just walks up to the wave. I think he's just disrespecting that Sniper had that Trinity Force.
Yeah, and then Licorice, I mean, he goes for it because Spica's walking behind him. But as he goes all out, just gets chopped down immediately on the Q. And Sniper sees the second one.
Ooh.
Really good timing on his ultimate to avoid the knockup from the Zyra ultimate. And then he flashes out the tower shot barely enough to burn him down. But it doesn't matter because you already got your multipliers.
True. You already got your multipliers.
But you know what? Importantly, he's taken down 2 of the returning members. He has not taken down Zven yet. Zven, you got to watch out. I think you're on Sniper's list here because that Camille will be looking at the Smolder going forward. Still in the 1v1 right now, though.
I mean, River would be here to help. They're bringing Sion as well. If they crash this wave, I think they're definitely looking to dive him. No teleport, no ghost on Licorice.
He's got 1 completed item. Still scary to dive a Ksante. He's going to take it.
I mean, tower's going to be...
Ooh, all out. Licorice just jumps to safety. Turret's already down. And it looks like he's out of there, but loses the objective.
Yeah, exactly. He's good. The tower is going down regardless. They do get this one. Licorice at least escaping with his life, though. Trying to make the best out of a dangerous situation here. Dignitas, they are praying to Zven at this moment. Please, Zven, scale and carry us.
I don't think Jensen's going to be the one to scale here, as he will unfortunately be on the receiving end of the Yone plus Karthus combo. Quid doing the work, River getting the credit. Either way, the 1-2 punch too much.
What a beautiful bit of teamwork there. It almost looked like, Quid, why did you exit early? I feel like you could have stuck around for the execute, and River was just waiting there. They get more total gold because the assist and kill gold gets shared there, and River picks up a kill with his ult.
This is why we were hyping up the split push of the double melee solo laners so early on, just when we first see the composition, and now's the first point in the game where you get to see it in action. And it is devastating for these low health carries on the side of Dignitas. Sion gonna go in, Sion gonna pop right back out of Shelly, and the tower goes down for it.
And this is where the game gets really difficult for Dignitas because they're already scared of both of their side lanes. And then, I was gonna say, it's just hard to break through the Smolder, but with the use of the Rift Herald, they crack that tier 1 mid, which is just gonna push everyone even further back and make it really difficult for Dignitas to approach and have good entries into the subsequent dragons with 50 seconds on the next mountain.
Yeah, should be pretty easy for 100 Thieves to continually keep up their side lane pressure. That way you keep growing your gold lead as the game advances. It allows your Karthus to speed clear and then just pick up all the objectives for you, amass this giant power difference. And then by the time you do get up to the point where you have to go through the enemy team, you have such a big advantage that you hopefully can kind of steamroll them. But we'll see it right now as they've got the Camille on top side splitting. The bottom side's outer turret is still barely standing, so that should be the next objective. It has under, about 30% HP left on that one here, so maybe Dignitas can try and get some comeback efforts, and like sometimes you can use dangling objectives like that as bait. It doesn't look like they are currently, although Jensen is doing his best to keep those minions off.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Dragon Timer as well because it has now spawned, and 100 Thieves are on it first. Zven's got double items as the Dragon, 201 stacks, getting close to critical mass. But there's so many threats on the enemy team that's not necessarily a guarantee you're going to win the team fight. So I actually don't mind that Dignitas is giving this up. Maybe a little unlucky. They would have liked to keep those stacking, but 100 Thieves are so scary right now.
Completely agree, especially with teleport being up on Sniper. Any type of approach can easily get locked down. Like just Camille ulting someone while Senna and Karthus ult are coming in over the top is going to be able to kill pretty much anyone, especially at this stage in the game before Zven can have any defensive items on his Smolder.
We'll see how quickly the Smolder is able to continue stacking. 218, we are close. As 100 Thieves are actually starting to hit the tier 2 turrets with 5 grubs picked up earlier in the game. They do have very strong sieging power, but they don't want to commit to it just yet. Happy to just get some wards in the enemy jungle. Their pick potential with things specifically like the Yone ultimate, like the Camille. If they find somebody out of position, they can blow them up fast, but so far Dignitas have been playing a fairly patient game. They haven't been giving them those opportunities to just pick them in their own jungle.
Yeah, it's kind of rough for them because your #1 goal is to first keep up your defensive vision through your jungle, because those are the areas that 100 Thieves are going to try and overtake to really increase their gold lead. After all the outer towers are down, your next step in League is always move up your vision in the enemy jungle so you can start taking away these buffs, taking away these camps. We're almost to the 20-minute mark, so the buffs are team-wide and really worth that extra little bit of taking away. And so Dig, your goal in trying to combat that is like, all right, we keep up our defensive vision and we surprise.
Yeah.
We try and get our surprise attack while the enemy team gets greedy and wants to take the whole map and increase their lead so much. You know, we have to try and overload somewhere that is hidden by vision and then make some surprise attacks here to blow the game back open.
And if they get a 5v5 now that Zven is at 235 stacks before 20 minutes, it would be a little bit of a power spike at the moment. 2 full items for him as well. Zven is, he's the hope. Like, the more Dignitas can actually try and create 5v5s or 5v4s, the better. But their windows are going to be so tight. You saw they got to, like, very briefly push the mid lane, but now already Sniper threatening tier 2. Jensen has to respond, doesn't have teleport. Licorice recalling because he doesn't see people on the map. Dignitas just can't actually set up for 5v5s.
All right, and the question here is, how many stacks does Smolder need to survive a Camille ult on him with a Karthus ult and a Senna ult?
Ooh.
And it's a bit of a trick question.
Yeah, because those
the
aren't
stacks
related
don't
things.
help you.
Yeah.
And the problem is, if that happens to you, you die.
How many pairs of sunglasses do you need to buy to lose 30 pounds?
I will say, they do have other damage threats, so if everything is used on Zven, I know he's the most fed member, but there is still a world where Spica and Jensen are able to facilitate the damage necessary while everything's blown on Zven, but it's not a fun position for Zven to be in, because you know that you have that target on your back.
He certainly does. At least he's got his flash right now.
Yeah.
So outplay potential.
Spica, walking into his own jungle, has to flash away. Now, how caught out of position on 100 Thieves members? Does not look like there's any collapse happening here. Licorice had TP, but there's a very deep ward he could have looked for. Not going to be one that he wants. Okay, sieging continues with Sniper all out. Zven damage. Sniper's in trouble. Dodges out on a lot of it, but Licorice will fall. 1-for-1 trade.
That's that exact 1v2 late game split push we were talking about with the Karthus ult coming through. He's up at tower pushing, applying the pressure, and goes 1-for-1 when they send multiple people down there, allowing, look at the rest of the map, by the way, the rest of your team to get even more off it. Even though you don't get the kill on Jensen, your team is able to take over full vision coverage of the Baron. They got the Scuttle Crab vision right in front of it. Karthus continued farming up, is over 2 items himself, plus the extra stacks on the Dark Seal. So Zven at least here getting the outer tower gold, putting some more money in the pockets of the Dignitas hope.
Yeah, even that last solo kill attempt from Quid on a Jensen, the Karthus ult is what got him low in the first place. And then if Jensen doesn't sidestep that Q, it actually would have been a Karthus ult contributing to both side lane solo kills. So the plan is working incredible for them. Do you think Zven, after that RFC, will go a defensive item? Because he's in this weird position where everything is on fire. And he's so strong. Like, the number of games where you're this strong on Smolder on stage, I haven't seen someone with this many stacks this early, I think, ever in LCS, let alone being 3-0. But then the rest of his team is so far behind, so you almost need to build damage to hope to carry.
You could consider a...
oh, they want to fight.
We'll have to get back into the itemization, because we're set up at the Baron right now. This is where Spica on the Zyra has a lot of power. If you can make them walk into you, but... they're just taking damage from the Baron. It's very early to start this.
They're being split pushed right now, too. So going halfway does nothing here. They're being split pushed by the Camille.
Ayla's just being a nuisance right now. Meech and River trying to get damage in there. Licorice tanking it up right now.
Camille.
Ayla goes for the big engage. Quid over the side as well. Massive combo. Zyra will use very defensively, but it's not going to be enough. They're in the pits still. Licorice will win his fight on the side. The rest of Dignitas falling apart. Baron doing massive damage. And 100 Thieves walking away. It's pretty even so far, but Licorice with the double kill around the side. They lost track of him. Sniper goes down.
Quid was on the Baron trying to finish it instead of killing Zven. Like, they lost complete focus on the Dragon. They lost complete focus on the Smolder. They tried to go for the Baron there in the back. Let's take a look at this replay, because this is going to be a comical one.
I got lost. I was looking at Zven and seeing how none of his executes were actually getting low enough to execute. It looked like everyone was incredibly low.
Oh my.
It should have been, I thought, a disastrous start for Dignitas, because by the time the fight starts, which is this ultimate, they're already all at about 50% health. Spica goes down right away, so there's no smite, but River gets just popped over the wall and can't smite. So now no one is secure about taking the Baron. So yes, Kobe, Quid in the middle, probably should have gone on Zven instead of messing around with this 1,000 health Baron, but he's so low anyway. He takes one step towards Zven, Zven auto-attacks him, he dies.
Yeah, I saw, the way he got in there, his soul unbound was at the back of the Baron pit.
Okay, back to live.
Okay, yeah. So it wasn't as comical as I thought the setup was going to be, but still ended up being extremely active here. We get right back to our normal game plan, though, of split pushing.
And also going for the Dragons now for Dignitas. It feels like they're starting to sweat, realizing our composition needs to go for the objectives. We are losing the side lanes. Stop fighting them there. We need to group up and try and get these neutrals, but they also get just pushed out of here. So it feels like they're just losing everywhere on the map. Dignitas, despite how strong Zven is, they are still struggling. Now they make the play onto the side lane. Quid's in trouble. Lockdown should fall down, as Zven has a lot of damage. Honey Shadow will keep Quid alive for a little bit longer. All out into Zven does not have enough damage.
I mean, the shutdown going into Zven also, like, this is a really fed Smolder. As the entire rest of the game and the entire rest of the map is still going to 100 Thieves, Zven continues to get richer and richer and richer.
It's almost impossible that a Smolder can be this fed while his team is 5,000 gold down.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen something this despairing.
And they're trying to rush it. They're going to burn down the Baron while they're getting split pushed again.
Zven's got to do that DPS, has purchased the Seeker's Arm Guards. We got to keep that in mind. The stasis is
Zyra
available.
ult the pit for more speed.
Ayla just flashing in
and Licorice won! Licorice
push him
won
off. Licorice wins the side lane against Sniper. That's huge for the side of Dignitas. He can now teleport back in. Meech and River trying to get that damage. That is Baron secure. Now Isles goes to the engage onto River. That should be a dead Karthus on our screen. The execute damage is there. It's actually Spica that picks it up. Dignitas, they finally get the Baron.
Dude, Licorice won the split push over there versus Sniper and then teleports into the rest of the team. Zven and Dignitas get the Baron and they got the extra kill.
They got those crafty old tricks with tons of experience. It's not like Licorice has ever been down in gold early game. He farmed up. I think he had 2.5 items. I need to see how he actually outplayed Sniper there. But then the fact that Zven was so strong gave them a lot of Baron damage. They really just turned the game around, I think, in this moment. They were 5,000 gold down. They get the solo kill and the shutdowns, as well as the Baron. How does Licorice pull this off? Does Sniper overgreed the turret, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, so your Q is on the turret, and so there was an early lead there for Licorice, but this is the moment where he just dodged the stun right there really nicely, and Sniper goes down. But yeah, getting the early start there while Sniper's trying to force down the turret. Another pick off on the split.
That's huge. Dignitas is starting to get the side lane split pushers that were giving them so much trouble early in the game.
I mean, just the fact that they've gotten all these shutdowns is shocking. I didn't get to see the actual setup, but now you can see, and this is with the defensive items. So I actually really love the Seekers from Zven because he finally had enough bonus gold to have enough damage while then being able to build defensive. A lot of this is going to come down to what they can get done with this Baron, and then if they can stop that Mountain Soul.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fully on Team Dig now. With how fed Zven is, getting the luxury defensive items, the Seekers being able to stop one of the big all-ins, the attempts there from 100 Thieves on his life, this guy is massive. Dignitas just need to pivot around him. And you can see both Spica and Isles will be attached to Zven at the hip, making sure that the peel is there if 100 Thieves tried to go at him. And Zven would for sure outplay with both a Leona and a Zyra there and a Seeker's Arm Guard and a Flash. It is going to be Dignitas here keeping up the pressure. They got the split on top side with Jensen. Jensen's Corki finishing that outer tower. They got the mid outer tower or secondary tower already, and they're looking for the secondary tower on bottom side here too.
A lot of value from that Red Bull Baron buff, and they're able to continue the siege. Dragon's going to be up in 2 minutes. Dignitas, they might even look to end the game before that happens. They get the engage under the turret on the River. Barely alive for right now, but he will go down. That's Ignite for the kill. On the side, though, Sniper's looking at Jensen, trying to get the flank. Buy some time, buy some space, as Quid cannot find the execute damage on anybody.
And Zven is so good with the side steps there. He dodged everything that Quid threw at him there and nearly killed him with the Q follow after he snapped back. Flashes also both up for both carries. Dig in total control all of a sudden.
Just broke the ankles of 100 Thieves in what felt like such a dominant early game through the side lanes. It's all fallen apart at the hinges. Dignitas They're going to take 2 inhibitors. Quid looking for another big knockup onto Licorice, but just does not have enough backup behind him. They need River to spawn 10 seconds. I think that's the end of the siege from Dignitas. But this game is heavily in their favor from now on.
Licorice with the critical 1v1 at the tower. Sniper tried to finish off that split push tower while the rest of the team was doing Baron. And when Dignitas burned down the Baron and get all this extra gold for themselves, using that Baron to take so many towers, the slingshot has been complete. Zven rewarded. This is one of those games where, you know, usually people like to complain, I won my lane so hard, but the rest of my team, you know, the rest of my team was just slacking so much. Zven's like, yeah, I won my lane so hard, and the rest of the team was slacking, but then we won anyways.
And I think most importantly, the 2 lanes they attacked are the 2 lanes that helped them the most with this next dragon. So they've killed both mid and bot inhibitors. That helps them get push. They wouldn't have been able to get push with just standard minion lanes because I still think there would be a bit of threat from the Yone and the Camille, but now they have those super minions. They have first setup as this Drake spawns in 10 seconds.
Yeah, and they've got the Ksante locket as well for the Karthus ultimate. You have so many answers for a lot of the 100 Thieves tools now because of all the extra gold afforded to Dignitas. They have their Zhonya's ready for Zven. It's a 3-item Jensen here on the Corki.
And Flash is still up too, so 100 Thieves really don't have a way to engage right now. Instead, they look at Isles, the front line. Now it's Licorice stepping up, trying to buy that space for Jensen to walk forward with confidence. A lot of damage onto Quid. Now the re-engage onto Jensen. He's finally able to flash to safety, and here comes Zven over the top. Gets a kill onto Quid. Sniper's trying to make some action happen. Does get onto Zven eventually, but remember, he has that stasis. He is just fine. Isles will go down. That's a fine trade for Dignitas. They still get the dragon.
A pretty close fight, all things considered. Second locket being picked up by Dignitas here with Isles as well. Will be some diminishing returns on that one, but I think job generally done for Dig, even if they would have liked a better result out of that fight, because they stopped the Mountain Soul from 100 Thieves. Zven didn't have to burn any critical cooldowns. It was just Jensen who burned his flash.
They got flash from Sniper, Quid, and Eyla before Baron spawning in under a minute now. Let's get another look at it.
All right, so they started out on Isles there, getting a big chunk, and then try and chase them after taking the dragon. But look at the river too. Camille coming up and is going to be able to apply the extra pressure as everybody went back for the Quid kill there. Yeah, big chunk of damage coming through.
Dig really did have to move through a bit of an awkward angle there, so I think a little bit fortunate to not lose that fight. But I just want to gush about Zven for a second as Baron comes up in 10 seconds, because this guy played support for a couple years and then didn't play professionally for 6 months. And this is some of the best Smolder I have seen in the LCS, especially from stacking and ability to keep his head in a losing game. Here they go.
Mom over the top. River taking a lot of damage here. This could be a huge pick for Dignitas. They got the jungler. Requiem not going to go down. I think it's still on cooldown there. So huge pick. And they also are just on the Baron regardless.
Not to take anything away from Zven and the Smolder, but he's
perfect.
He did get to lane against the Sion.
Yeah.
The lane swap by himself while the enemy Senna was in mid lane and top lane the entire time.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
It was pretty free stacking and pretty
for sure.
free farming.
Two truths, Kobe. Two truths.
And they also got 2 really early kills, but he's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, love him and everything.
I've seen plenty of 2-0 Smolders that didn't turn into this.
I just say that also, Licorice in a harder position has done some really amazing work for the team too. So props to both of them.
And now they're looking for the final turret here, the final inhibitor. Isles is just tanking it up. Finally, the turret will go down. Dignitas do not lose a member. Sniper's in the side lane. He has teleport.
Yeah, this is risky, though. It could actually be the game. They're trying to Karthus to hold him off.
Yeah, the Requiem comes down. Big damage. One turret's already fallen, and the front line is struggling. Quid stunned up. Ayla's in there. Will get one. Sniper is committing to the split push. He wants to go for the back door. Hopefully the rest of the Thieves can hold the line and stop the backs from coming in. It's looking good. So far, Quid's going in. Spica into stasis. Backing happening from Jensen, so the Corki does get back there. Sniper, he gets one turret. Quid goes down. Almost got out of Spica. Another ultimate from the Smolder and a double kill. Sniper almost takes Jensen, but not quite. Dignitas hold the line. And in a last-ditch effort, the Thieves will go down. Dignitas picking up another Game 1 win.
You like the base race, huh? You like that? Guess what? We've got a best of 3. This was only the first game. That is the best news. Dignitas come out with another victory in the first game of a series.
Yeah.
Now the question becomes, in the best of 3 world here, can they keep it together this time? Can they finish out this series?
They're a crafty team, that's for sure, because they were down 5,000 gold in this one. Zven ended 10-0 on Smolder with 450 stacks. Like, yeah, sure, they gave him a free lane, but holy crap, that was dominant. And then even 100 Thieves, they almost clutched it up at the end after losing their lead. That would have been a ridiculous comeback. I really hope we get all 3 games.
I love the fact that Sniper committed, though, to that split push. I think at that point, the game's not, you're not going to win the front, the back of your base. Just try and go for their Nexus instead. What a game 1. I'm so happy we get at least one more. But just another quick reminder, everybody, week